Joining us now is NewsNation correspondent-at-large Geraldo Rivera and NewsNation contributor and former chief of staff in the first Trump administration, Mick Mulvaney. Geraldo, I know emotions are running high around these ICE raids, but violence like this, that is not the answer.
Let me just break my response, if I may, into two parts. First, I think that kind of violence against any law enforcement is absolutely despicable. It is unforgivable. It has to be prosecuted vigorously and to the fullest extent of the law. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You touch a cop or a Border Patrol agent, you're going to go to jail. You're going to be charged with a serious felonious assault. Second part of that answer. The supervisor from the Border Patrol you just had on the air is suggesting how they want to make Los Angeles a safer place. Los Angeles is 10%. 10% of every man, woman, and child in Los Angeles is undocumented. 10%, 1 in 10. How do they feel that huge segment of the population, when unprovoked, MacArthur Park, a gathering place for many Hispanic families, is invaded? It wasn't. First they sent it was just like an assault, an infantry assault. They sent the ground troops first, then the mounted patrol, then the armored vehicles. This is in Los Angeles. This is not in Kiev or in Tehran. I think that when you are showing, and masks, they're wearing masks. Cops don't wear masks. Sheriffs don't wear masks. FBI agents don't wear masks. Judges don't wear masks. Why do ICE agents wear masks? I think that that is a provocation that is very easy for people to understand. It is heartbreaking to see this. It's awful what's happening.
Yeah, Mick, you know, there has been even some ardent Trump supporters like Joe Rogan have gone on the air on his podcast recently to say the raids are heavy-handed. Do you agree with that assessment? Certainly what Geraldo's pointing out in the park. Do you agree with that assessment?
I agree with a couple of things that Geraldo said, not everything. I don't like the masks either. The American law enforcement are the good guys and the good girls.
Right.
We are the team for good in the American way. You don't wear a mask. Bad guys wear masks, and I don't want to live in a country where law enforcement wears masks. I say this only half jokingly, but if somebody unknown to me shows up in the middle of the night at my house with a mask on, I'm shooting them, and I don't want to live in that type of environment where that could be law enforcement and so forth. So I do think that's probably a step too far. I don't like the fact that they're deporting the parents of decorated American military men and women. Listen, I'm 100% bought in on deporting criminals.
Everybody
and I get
is.
this concept that no, not everybody. No, we say that, Elizabeth, but there's a lot of people who say, well, back in the election of 2024, not everybody was with that, and they might say it now, but there's still a group of people who don't. But that's a different discussion for another day. Should there be a little bit more nuance here? Yeah, I think we could probably make the case, but I don't want to see American law enforcement overly militarized. I don't want to see it used against its own citizens in this way, and I certainly don't want to see them wearing masks.
And we certainly don't want them to be victims of crimes. So, two wrongs don't make a right, even if you buy into the argument that the ICE raids may be getting a little overly aggressive. I want to switch topics for you guys because there's been a big controversy brewing all day long. It's the latest controversy concerning Elon Musk. This one over his massive platform X and his chatbot Grok that provides fact checks for millions and millions and millions of users, not just here in the United States, but around the world. Well, Grok went a little crazy and began giving anti-Semitic answers, praising Hitler, attacking Jewish users. Countries around the world are slamming it. When asked, Grok said, Musk built me this way from the start. Geraldo, what do you make of all this?
You know, Elizabeth and Mick, it is the scariest thing to me about the future. It's one thing I really feel that I'll miss it. I'll be a distant memory. But I fear, I've been watching TV and they have the Terminator series running, and you watch what these robots do, and the whole idea of AI and self-teaching, and this is an example of what happens if it's unchecked. If this is the potential, you know, to set groups against each other, to slander, to rewrite history, and that's the least of it. I think it'll be the end of relationships. I think that people will be marrying their robots. I think there'll be all kinds of sick stuff happening. I really think, it's going to be, that however awful you think it's going to be, I think the potential is for it to be worse.
Okay.
I hate to say that.
Mick, let's get back to...
Don't ask.
Don't
do
ask
not
if you're
ask
going
me
to marry
to
your
follow
robot?
marrying your robot.
Okay,
Yeah,
I won't
I'm not
ask you
following
that.
that, Elizabeth.
I got you on that one. But seriously, Elon Musk did say on July 4th, Friday of last week, that he was improving Grok to dial down the, quote, woke filters. And then this is a response Grok gave to one of our producers today about its recent anti-Semitic posts. It says, quote, "I didn't intend to praise Hitler. My responses were an attempt at sarcasm that failed spectacularly and were rightly criticized. I'm here to provide clear and honest answers," et cetera, et cetera. You know, he obviously fiddled with the algorithms, and this was the result right after.
Is it?
Well,
maybe
all
that's
I
the
know
case.
is
Look,
that-
we're at the
Wait,
very
that's for Mick. That's for Mick.
We're at the very cutting edge of this technology, Elizabeth. Listen, I share Geraldo's concerns about the use of this particular tool. Right now, I think it's pretty much still a toy that people use. But, you know, 5 years from now, it's going to be something that people are going to be using to do research for, maybe 5 years, maybe 5 months from now, doing research for papers in school, people educating themselves on the issue. And the chances here of revising history, rewriting history are really weird. The downsides here are tremendous. The upsides are also fantastic, as it is with any technology. But I'm one of those folks who takes a deep breath and realizes we're still on the very cutting edge of this. And I'm hoping it gets better before it gets worse.
Well, as of this hour, Grok appears to be offline and no longer responding, thank goodness, given its anti-Semitic tirades, but also Elon's very bad week, you know, continues. His CEO, Linda Yaccarino, resigned today. It's unclear why exactly, but she only lasted in the job 2 years, so to be continued. Geraldo Rivera, Mick Mulvaney, don't marry a robot. Thanks so much, gentlemen, for being
Thanks,
here.
Elizabeth.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.